Thank you. Market Forces has filed Resolution 29 because Barclays urgently needs to improve its climate policies. Now, there's been plenty of talk, but investors should judge the bank by its actions. In 2020 alone, Barclays financed coal, oil and gas globally to the tune of $27 billion, with the bank retaining its place as the biggest financier of fossil fuels in Europe since the Paris Agreement was signed. In the past year, the bank has increased its funding for fracking, tar sands and Arctic oil and gas by 32% compared to 2019. The bank's current policies will allow funding of the coal industry well into the 2030s with no end date in sight, unlike competitor banks such as HSBC or BNP Paribas. As well as this, since January 2020, Barclays has participated in financing syndicates worth nearly $100 billion to major oil and gas companies, most of which have business strategies openly aligned with the failure of the Paris Agreement. Despite what the board claims, these are not the actions of a bank aligning itself with the Paris Agreement. Investor pressure forced Barclays to improve their policies last year, and investor pressure is now needed again to continue that improvement. Resolution 29 calls for Barclays to adopt further and enhanced targets to phase out its provision for the financing of fossil fuels in line with the goals of the Paris Agreement. If the bank does not commit to phasing out all financial services for fossil fuels, it makes the managed transition it claims to support less likely and instead runs the risk of an abrupt and damaging unjust transition, exposing shareholders to unacceptable climate risk. There's growing pressure from Barclays to change its ways. Last week, 17 investors worth $4.3 trillion called on Barclays to tighten its coal and tar sands policies. Financing another $27 billion to fossil fuels last year shows exactly where Barclays stands on climate change. We're now about to find out the extent to which shareholders support Barclays' financing of climate destruction and the extent to which shareholders want to see improvements on the board on climate risk management. We urge shareholders to vote in favour of Resolution 29 to show both their desire to avoid huge and escalating climate risk and a desire for improvement in Barclays' climate policies and true alignment with the Paris Agreement. Thank you very much.